Good morning. Remember, when I write, you write. So let's switch colors from the other day. Put your name on your paper. First and last, plus the date. And this is, I think, grid box 1D. And this one is called substitute the value of the variable. Okay, that, my friends, is a big deal. Substitute the value of the variable. So what this means is that if we're given an expression, remember, is basically a sentence without an equal sign. So if we're given an expression with a variable in it, so a letter or a symbol, and then we're given the value of that variable, can we figure out how much the whole sentence is worth? That's basically what we're doing. Okay, so example 1. If we're given the expression x minus 9, that's a semicolon, and then they say, well, x is worth 15, then we need to solve. And to solve, you substitute the value of the variable. So where there's a variable, you put that value. And then what's 15 minus 9? 6. Done. This is one of my favorite parts of algebra because it doesn't require a ton of thinking. If we say 16 divided by the value in, and then I tell you that in this case, in is worth 8, well, substitute the value of the variable. Where there's an n, we would put an 8. Then 16 divided by 8 is 2. Oh, I shouldn't have written it like that. My bad. 2. Another one. Ooh, let's try this. That's a 5/10. 5/10 y, where y is equal to 1.4. Oh, Miss D, why do you throw in these decimals? Well, because y'all have a calculator. You can handle it. You just have to know what to do. Once you know what to do, having a calculator just helps you actually do the thing. So remember, the first thing we do, substitute the value of the variable. So where there's a y, we're going to put a 1.4. And in this case, I'm going to put it in parentheses because this means multiplication. And we do not want you to do 0.5, 1.4, because this will get confusing about what's going on. And then if you're like me and sometimes elevate your decimal, now you don't have any idea what decimal 5.1 decimal 4 means. So don't do that. Put the value of the variable in these parentheses and then utilize your calculator. A number next to parentheses means to multiply. 5/10 times 1 4/10. 7/10. You can do that. How about 6k, where k is equal to 3? Substitute the value of the variable. Put the value of the variable in. 6 times 3, 18. Done. You can do that. In fact, you're going to be really good at it. Okay? Sometimes we're going to want you to make a table. A table, Misty? I don't know how to do woodwork. It's fine. So let's say we're given the expression. Ooh, I haven't taught you that yet. Let's do this. 4x minus 4. Okay? But I notice I haven't told you yet what x is equal to. You're going to make a table. and the value of x is going to go over here, and then the value of the expression will go over here. And then we'll do some work because it's going to take some work. And that's good. We need practice. Sorry if I keep going in and out of focus. That would make me car sick. Okay, so let's see. If we say that the value of x is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we're going to figure out the value of this expression, or how much this expression is worth, when x is equal to each of these three numbers. And we have to do it one at a time. So first thing, I would have 4, whatever x is equal to, minus 4. And I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I've just set it up. And then the first one, x is equal to 1. The next one, x is equal to 2, then 3, then 4. And then we solve. 4 next to the parentheses means multiply. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Oh, I guess I could put value here. Okay, let's see. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. And 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 minus 4 is 12. Now we filled in the table. We substituted the value of the variable, then followed our order of operations, got the value of the expression, put it into the table. This is a skill you're going to use a lot. Then, later in life, you'll start looking at this table and start coming up with trends that you see or patterns that you see. And most sixth graders are pretty good at patterns, like I noticed from 1 to 4, this is getting bigger. As I move down, how much is it getting bigger by? 1. So a lot of times we would do something like this. We seem to be adding 1 every time. And so then you could guess that this next number would be 5. Now, when you look at this column, and later in life, this column won't be called value, it will be called something else. Later in life means probably later this year. And then you might notice from 0 to 12 that these are also increasing. So you might try to decide, well, how much is it increasing by? 0 to 4, I add 4. 4 to 8, I also add 4. I also add 4. So what do you think you're going to do for the 12? Probably add 4, and this would be 16. And we can test that, and this is where math becomes kind of fun. So if we say that the x is worth 5, where there was an x, in the original expression, I put a 5. Now, 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 4 is 16. What? How did we know? Okay, cool. One more. We'll write an expression, and then we're going to have a columns. These are going to be called a chart. Let's do 1, 2, 3, and 4 again. Ooh, let's do a fun one. 10. And what's our expression this time? What? Okay. X to the power of 2 minus x. What? I'm just going to use my green one for this. So if we say that x is worth 1, then over here I'm going to write where there was an x, I substitute the value of the variable, 1. 1 squared minus x, x is 1. Substitute the value of the variable. So where there were x's, now I put 1s. Now 1 to the power of 2 is 1 times 1, and 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Now I'm going to substitute a 2. 2 to the power of 2 minus 2. 2 to the power of 2 minus 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, minus 2 is 2. Now I have to substitute a 3. 3 to the power of 2 minus 3. 3 to the power of 2 is 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. Oh, this pattern is a lot more difficult. Okay, 4. 4 to the power of 2 minus 4. 4 to the power of 2 is 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 4 is 12. And 10. 10 to the power of 2 minus 10. 10 to the power of 2 is 10 times 10, and 10 times 10 is 100. Minus 10 is 90. Okay, so we made a chart. The value of the variable over here, it won't always be x. It could have been q, or it could have been z. All right, and then the value of the expression after we substitute the value of the variable. And how did I know to do 1, 2, 3, 4? I just made them up. But a lot of times your book will tell you what to put there. Okay? I know I said one last one, but I mean this will be the last one. So often students wonder, Miss D, how do you get from Celsius to Fahrenheit? Because they just make no sense. And honestly, they kind of don't make any sense. But there's a formula, and a formula is applied algebra. Okay, so the formula for finding the temperature in Fahrenheit, if given the temperature in Celsius, is 1 8/10 times the Celsius temperature, then add 32. I'm guessing you add 32 because 32 is the freezing point of water in Fahrenheit. Okay, so this is a formula. This is called a formula. And you substitute the value of the variable and it kicks out what you want. This happens to be the formula for Celsius to Fahrenheit. How in the world do you spell Fahrenheit? Oh, here we go. I'm not going to remember that. That won't be on the test. Okay, so now if you know that it's 20 degrees Celsius outside, substitute the value of the variable. So if you think that Celsius is worth 20, then we're going to take 1 8/10 times 20, and then we're going to add 32. And Miss D, there's the decimals again. I'll say, no worries, guys, because we have a calculator. 1.8, remember number next to a parenthesis means multiply, times 20 degrees Celsius. Oh, add 32. Equals 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That sounds a little chilly. What if it's 30 degrees Celsius, which doesn't seem like much? You just went up 10 degrees. Well, substitute the value of the variable. Where there was a C, we now put in the value 30. And then here's our calculator again. 1 8/10 times 30. And then we have to add 32. 86 degrees. Mercy sakes. Okay, we'll get into this more next level, but formula work with what we learned today, which is substitute the value of the variable. And then you just follow your order of operations. Good luck.